What's going on, folks? We're outside of Stu's garage today because Stu's garage currently has a broken Mustang in it, and we're going to be working on Eugene's car. And I think last time Eugene was on the channel, we basically spray painted his car flat black because it was multicolored. So even though it's dirty, it's looking a lot better these days, and it's running a whole lot better because it's got a new motor in it. So I know a lot of you guys wanted me to do this setup, so you know, you get to kind of see how it works here a little bit later on. But this is a 351 with an on-3 turbo kit. So like I said before, I wasn't bad-mouthing the on-3 setup. I just didn't want it for myself. I don't really want to deal with the dramas of boost. But that's kind of what it looks like crammed in there. We'll get to hear this thing make a pull a little bit later on. But yep, so that's the setup. And apparently this car is pretty fast. So what we're going to be doing today is actually pretty simple. I wouldn't normally put this on video, but it pissed so many people off last time I did this. I'm just going to make another video and do it again. So he's having issues with his fuel pump, and I know some of you guys can drop a fuel tank, you know, like with one hand holding a beer and another hand giving me a middle finger, and I don't know what you use to get the fuel tank down, but that's like my least favorite thing to do. So we're just going to make a cut right through the trunk pan here, access the fuel pump, swap that out with a different one, and hopefully his issues will be a little bit better. Alright, so as you can see right here, just like I showed on my previous video, which I'll put a link to in the description with way more on how to do this, but your fuel tank access port, or whatever you want to call it, is right here. So what we're going to have to do is use our tool to do a disconnect to get these lines disconnected. I actually have the disconnect tool, but my other video shows how to make a DIY tool out of a pin cap. So I have to pop these two lines off, unplug this plug here, and then rotate this ring, and the entire fuel assembly will come out. Alright, so we went ahead and disconnected these lines. I was wrong about the tool. This one actually uses a tab that pulls up. This is really easy to get off. This is the one that needs, I ended up going ahead and making another DIY tool out of a pin cap because my nice tool, the correct tool for the job, just didn't fit down in here. So anyways, we got the lines off. This plug comes out by just lifting it up. We already disconnected that, but I stuck it back in just because I don't want to get dirt in it, which is what we're about to do right now, which is to kind of clear up all of this dirt and junk because you don't want this dirt falling into the tank. So we're going to hit it with brake cleaner, and then we're going to hit it with a shot of air, try to clear some of that grime out of there. And even if the tank is outside of your car, you want to do the same thing. You don't want that trash going down into your tank. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tap this cap open. Pretty much I like to do that by using a screwdriver and a hammer. You just catch one of these grooves and you rotate this thing counterclockwise until it comes loose, and then the fuel sending unit will raise up. Got it? Alright. And once you twist it around where it needs to be, it'll come on out. You'll see a little gasoline sock down at the bottom. Make sure you don't break that off and let that fall back into the tank. Man, this E85 smells horrible.
E85 is the way of the world.
Alright, so there's your fuel sending unit. So I'm not really going to go into detail in this video on how to replace your fuel pump because I already made a whole video on that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the new unit, throw it in there, and you know what, dude? There's your problem right there.
Okay.
So I don't even think we need to replace the fuel pump. As you can see, this is the outlet for the pump, and the pump sprays into this hose and it sends it forward, you know, out to the rest of the car. As you can see here, the line is busted, and so the fuel pump is trying to spray fuel out, and it's just all coming out here, and he's not getting any fuel pressure. So really, we don't even have to replace this pump. I'm sure this pump is still good. we just need to replace this line right here, which I happen to have another one right here. Alright.
There's dirt on here.
Alright, so we went ahead and we cut the old hose off. And I believe that the reason for this rupture is because Eugene has been running E85. And, you know, this hose is really stiff. You know, as you can see, this one is not really stiff. E85 destroys rubber and does this to it. So that's why you have to get plastic hoses. So we are going to replace this with another rubber hose. Maybe he'll get another couple of months out of it, but we just don't have the correct plastic hose here today. So luckily he's got a trap door on his fuel tank, and it'll take him 5 minutes to change it out next time. But as for now, for a quick fix, we're just going to throw another section of rubber hose on there, get him back on the road. Alright, so we just primed it, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but the fuel pressure is reading 45, which is where we need it to be. And I wish you guys had heard it when we pulled it in the driveway, but it was spitting and sputtering and sounded pretty nasty. But I guess when we run it now, it should be much better. There you go. Contact.